You know, I'm always feeling sweet, but today, not like sugar. And the reason is I actually quit caffeine and sugary drinks, so I'm just sticking to water and, of course, alcohol. Because of all the things that I'm willing to give up, that's just not one of them. In this video, we're gonna be talking about the Scuf Infinity 4PS controller and whether or not the grips are actually worth it. Now, the grips, for those of you who don't know, I'm gonna throw a picture up right here. Whoosh. And basically, they're bubbly, kind of like grippy things on the back of the controller that allow you to kind of like hold your hands in place and prevent them from slipping when you're playing. Now, if you're anything like me, you know that when you play, your hands get sweaty. You know, maybe you're eating some Fritos, you know, you got some Taco Bell going on in those late night gaming sessions. You're just slamming Dr. Pepper and Doritos and your hands are all oily and you're getting that on your controller. Or maybe your little cousin comes over and he's grabbing your controller and he was just eating a bag of Wavy Lays and now he's smothering his hands all over your, you know, $150 plus controller, and we can't be having that. Or maybe you brought a girl back and she likes video games and you're like, sure babe, play some Call of Duty, here's my controller. But you're looking at her hands like, because she was just slamming a bag of chips. These are problems in the world today and we have to work together to solve them. Am I right? I'm right. I'm always right. Let's talk about the price, okay? $16.95 for the just regular black grips. But if you want color, and that's green, that's yellow, that's green, red, and blue, I'm looking at the page right now, it's gonna be $19.95. Additional dollars on top of the $139.95 base price for a Scuf Infinity 4PS controller. Now, this is where we get into the money situation here. A lot of you guys, I know, you're younger gamers out there. You don't really have just money to throw around, you know, so that extra, you're already spending $140 plus on a controller. It's a big deal, you know, you're asking for that for your birthday, or maybe you're saving up from your job at Target. I don't know, but adding on the extra costs to take the rumbles out, to get the buttons blacked out, to do this, and this, like it adds up. I mean, my controller, I actually got it rush shipping because I was just like, I get into those moods, and I paid over $200 for my controller. Now, a lot of you guys, that extra $20 is gonna be a big hit to your bank account that you don't wanna take. So I'm gonna clear up whether or not you should actually spend the money or save and just go with the regular controller backing. Now, I thought it only right to question my brother about his thoughts on the controller because he actually has the grip on the back of his controller, whereas I don't. This is the back of my controller here, and as you can see, it's just the regular PS4 controller grips on the back. So I spoke with my brother about 30 minutes ago. He sat down in this very chair right here, and he said, and I quote, "If you're eating something greasy, which I don't recommend anyway, but like, if you're playing a really important GB, this could be really slippery if your hands are sweating. I think it's worth it." Okay, so don't take my word for it because I don't even have the grips on my controller, but I will say this. I played with them for 2 hours the other night, and I know for a lot of you that's not a very long time. A lot of you guys are playing 6+ hour gaming sessions, 12-hour gaming sessions, and you know, there was a time when I was like that, but I have a full-time job now and I have a lot of other things that I need to do. So I don't get to game for that long. Unless I just want to dedicate a weekend to it, but I don't do that. I have things to do. Man, I got laundry. So I played with them for 2 hours long, and then I switched for the third hour to a regular controller. So I got to experience kind of the grips of the first two and then what it felt like when I switched away from the grips just to the regular. My conclusion is this. To be completely honest, I didn't notice a huge difference. In fact, when I hold the regular controller, it feels slim and small in my hands, and I like that. When you add the grips, it adds a little bit of bulk to it. So if you're someone who maybe has bigger hands or likes feeling a heavy, large controller in your hands, like for me, I like the small. I like being able to feel that I can manipulate it and hold it, and it makes me feel like I'm in control when I'm in the game. If you're someone who likes that additional kind of bulk and weight to your controller, maybe getting the grips is gonna be worth it for you. In terms of hands slipping, you know, my hands sweat a lot when I play, even when it's only for a couple of hours. I really didn't feel a huge difference in that aspect. Another thing I wanna point out, and this is something that affected me when I was younger and competing in Call of Duty and different games, and I wasn't exactly as confident as I am today, is that if the what if factor is gonna bother you, and you know, not getting the grips on the back is gonna kind of lower your confidence when you're playing. Like, let's say you're a competitive player and you play game battles or UMGs or whatever the case may be, and you're using a regular no grip on the back controller and you lose a match, are you gonna be saying to yourself, man, what if I had the grips? You know, my finger slipped. If only I had those grips, man, I could have beaten that guy in that gunfight. In reality, is that really the case? Probably not. But if you're the type of person who you know that adding those grips is gonna give you a little boost of confidence and it's gonna eliminate that what if factor, so you won't be constantly thinking like, what if I had the grips, because you have them, I think the $20 is gonna be worth it for you because, you know, paying $20 for a little bit more peace of mind and a little more confidence going into your gunfights and your game battles, I think it's worth it, you know? For me, now that I've tried both, I know it's not about the grips, you know? I just wanna have my regular controller. I don't need the grips, for me. But if you're someone who's never tried the grips before and you just don't wanna be crippled by the unknown and the what if, I think you should spend the $20 or at least the $16.95 to get the black grips. I would say don't get this controller if you don't have sweaty hands, if you don't play super long sessions, if you don't play competitively, and if you're super confident with the regular controller. You know, if you're looking at, like right now, I can look at the grips and I'll be like, I don't need that, I'm good. Like I'll play just fine with my regular controller. If you're someone who has that level of confidence in your gameplay, then don't get the grips. You know, I don't think they're 100% necessary. I think it really depends on the person, and the biggest end of the day, end of the video thing that I want you guys to take away from this is it all comes down to self-awareness. Know yourself as a player. Like, if you're sitting there and going, man, I should have got the grips, you probably should have got the grips, you know? If it's not really even a thought in your mind, then you're good. You know, you really have to kind of look inside. Don't, you know, I just want to give you guys my input on this, but when it comes down to it, you got to ask yourself, man, and that's really going to give you the answer. We're getting deep. We're getting real deep here. All right, so that's it for this video. I wanted to keep it super brief and simple. I didn't do some scientific test where I played with this one for 25 hours and this one for 25 hours. You know, I just did a brief, quick test, and I wanted to give you guys my quick, unbiased opinion on it. That's it. That's my opinion on that. Guys, please follow me on Instagram at instagram.com/ChrisPatron. It's the same as my YouTube channel. If you don't follow me there, you're an asshole. Hope you guys really enjoyed the video. Have a fantastic, fantastic day. As always, leave me comments down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I'm trying to answer as many comments as I possibly can. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. And you are beautiful. I mean, you're not that beautiful. Relax. Shit. 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6.